Hello and welcome to Style It Up, where we take you inside the fashion world of New England. I'm your host, Olga. We have another great show for you today with a Style It Up first that you don't want to miss. But first, let's meet a guest who at a young age has been fascinated by beautifully crocheted pieces. One day she finally picked up the crochet hook and decided to attempt the art for herself. After many trials and errors, emerged a hat. Many pieces followed and soon people began to ask Maria to crochet something for them. This is when AiRam emerged. The crochet business prides itself on one-of-a-kind, all handmade pieces. With 10 years in the making, AiRam's body of work includes hats, scarves, handbags, the list goes on. And we're so excited to have Maria with us. Please welcome Maria of AiRam. Hello, Maria.
Hi,
Thank
Olga.
you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Welcome to Style It Up.
Thank you.
All right, so tell me, what is it about crocheting that excites you?
Well, it's not like fabric. You can cut the pieces you want, the shapes that you want. Crochet, you have to start from scratch. If you want a sweater, you have to row by row form exactly what you want. So just the intricacy of it fascinates me.
So do you draw out an outline, or what do you do to?
Sometimes I sketch it out, and sometimes it's just in my head, and I try to go with that.
Okay, and tell me about AiRam. What is the name?
AiRam, it's just basically my name backwards. You know, I try to keep it simple, but it's my flip side, so I decided to just flip my name.
I like it. Mine wouldn't sound that good, flip backwards, so hey, kudos.
You could try it.
Never mind. Anyway, so you have a couple pieces that you'd like to show
I do.
us, right? Okay, ladies, let's see some of those looks.
This is a sweater, and it has an open front detail. It has a detachable hoodie, so you could start this in the daytime. If it's too warm out, you know, you could take off your hood and stick it in your bag, and then later on put it back on.
I absolutely love that. The hood is very, exaggerated. It's very, very beautiful.
Ties at the waist for, days that you've had, a big meal. You could loosen it up or tighten it if you'd like.
That's me every day. It's absolutely beautiful. The colors are exquisite. How do you picture colors in your head?
Well, the person that I was making it for said they wanted blue, and then I kind of just went from there and added a little bit more coloring to that, a darker shade and the gray to complement it.
It's very beautiful. I love the little military touches too. Thank you. The buttons. Thank you so much. And then here we have
a small mini travel bag, basically a girl's best friend. You can throw as many things as you can in there, and it's a big open pocket in the front, and it has two side pockets in each side, and each side has a kind of different striping elements to it.
I love it. And one thing that you mentioned about, what you do is it's all one-of-a-kind pieces.
Yes.
Nothing is,
exactly the same.
Doubled.
So even if it's similar, there's some detailing that's different about it, so your piece won't be exactly the same as hers.
So you can't be like, hey, I got this at Target. It happens all the time.
Exactly. Exactly.
Right, well, thank you so much. I absolutely love that bag. So here we have a couple of other things that you've made. Let's start from this over here.
Well, I'm wearing this sweater here.
Oh, yes.
That I added some leather to it. So it's kind of just a simple ruffle sweater, but then I added the leather for a modern piece.
Leather.
And then it has a matching purse to go with it. I went to bed one day and this shape just came to head, and then I immediately got up and went and sketched it. I didn't know what I was going to do with it yet. And then I said, well, let me just cut a piece of leather and put it on the purse. So one side looks like this, and then the other side is more rounded. I have no idea why it came to me. It just did. So
hey, it'll keep your cell phone warm.
Exactly. Exactly.
I definitely like it.
This piece here, I had this purse that I was so in love with. I used it so much, and then it started deteriorating. You can actually see the handle was still kind of worn, and I refused to throw it out. And then one day it just came to me. I decided to recycle it and make my own purse.
I
so
love that.
Everyone loves the giraffe piece, and I'm like, sorry, it's really one of a kind because the other piece is torn. So that's how that one came about.
Cool. Way to recycle,
Exactly.
Wow, absolutely.
I recycle a lot of pieces, anything that I don't use anymore before throwing it out, or even certain fabrics because I could use that as a lining instead of throwing it out.
Smart, very smart.
Thank you.
You know how to be, resourceful.
Exactly.
There you go.
You have to be.
Yeah, in this economy.
Right.
And what do we have over here?
This one's just a simple clutch. It just opens here in the front, has kind of like a funky lining, and I wanted to just kind of dress it up a little bit, so I stitched some beading across the front.
It is so beautiful. It really, really is. is. So tell me, does crochet fashion have an expiration date?
I doubt it. I mean, the list just goes on. Anything that you can think of, you can possibly do. Any fabric or material or wire that you can bend, you can use. So I don't think crochet is ever going to go out of style.
Yeah, you see bathing suits, you see hats,
yes.
you see everything. It's a really
so as
great,
the style changes, the time changes, so can the crochet style.
You're a good friend to have, you know? Cheap, you know.
My family loves me.
Yeah,
They stay warm all winter.
I would absolutely say so. What do we have over here?
Over here we have another piece that I added leather to, and decided to also add some beads to it. So the stitching, the putting holes, and thanks Dad for helping me punch the holes in the leather.
That's what he's good for. Hey, this is beautiful. This might come home with me. I
Sure.
never saw it. I don't know what you're talking about. I like it. And then this one?
And this piece here, I saw this charm in the store and I just loved it. I didn't know what I wanted to do with it, and then once I got home, I said, hey, why not just use it as a button? Exactly, and then that just opens up.
Oh my gosh, and I love the lining. All of your work has beautiful lining in it.
Thank you.
Just kind of
try to find some funky fabrics to line it with.
It makes it, more unique.
Exactly.
So that's really great.
Exactly.
Well, this is awesome. This is beautiful, beautiful work. It's really great that you can come and share it with us.
Thank you so much.
Style It Up wishes you the best, and definitely stay in touch and let us know what you're up to.
Thank you.
But these are beautiful, and maybe, if I think of something for you to crochet for me,
definitely.
I'll give you a call.
Give me a call.
Thank you so much,
Maria.
Thank you. We're going to take a small break, and we'll meet you right back here with a Style It Up First. You don't want to miss it, so don't go anywhere.
Turning a 20-foot wall into a canvas takes vision. So will getting into college. I've got what it takes. So do you.
Today is Saturday. Today is Saturday. Salad on Saturday, fruit on Friday, throw a ball Thursday. Water Wednesday, touch your toes Tuesday. Let's move Monday, swap snacks Sunday. All the healthy children eat well and move a lot. And move a lot. And move a lot. Eat well and move a lot. 60 minutes of physical activity a day and eating well can help get your child healthy. So keep them active and eating well every day. Skip a rope Saturday, freeze tag Friday, tap dance Thursday. Whole grains Wednesday, try a veggie Tuesday. Let's move Monday, split the sweet Sunday. Eat well and move a lot. Today is Saturday. Yeah. Today is Saturday. All the healthy children, all the healthy children. Get ideas. Get involved. Get going at letsmove.gov. That's letsmove.gov.
Welcome back to Style It Up. I'm your host, Olga Medvedev. We have invited a designer who has established himself as a successful entrepreneur. Daniel Hernandez has worked hard to get ahead in this competitive industry. With his natural talent and the education to back it up, he heads the company DH Studios Incorporated. Established in 2002, DH is a premier provider of fashion design and beauty products. Here to share his insight and his knowledge, please welcome Daniel Hernandez. Daniel, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you for having me.
So tell us, this is a very competitive industry in Boston, it's a small fashion industry. What did you do to get ahead and how did you become successful?
Well, I think it's been a combination of hard work and definitely networking. And I've actually, like I was talking to one of the people here earlier, I actually took the time to do some internships and learn from some established designers and at the very least figure out what I did not want to do. And then what I knew what I wanted to do, I just became more of an expert on what I wanted to establish myself in.
So tell us a little bit more about DH and yourself and your involvement with the Boston fashion scene.
Well, there's actually a lot more going on with the Boston scene than people think. There's quite a bit of movement in the fashion industry. Back in 1994, I actually was one of the people in the small group that helped create Fashion Week, and that did a lot because I kept in contact with pretty much the group that started back then. But to go way, way back, even further than that, and yes, I probably am a little bit older than I look.
You do look great.
Actually, fashion runs in my family. My grandmother did fashion design for a living, and she raised 10 kids out of design, and actually my grandfather did shoes. So for some bizarre reason, it skipped that generation, and then since I was 7 or 8, I just knew that that's what I wanted to do. So my grandmother raised me, so I spent a lot of time with her.
So you've kind of seen it all. You've seen the shoes, you've seen the this,
I've seen a good
marketing.
chunk of it.
Yeah.
And then when I was about 16, 17, I was actually still in high school, I said to my grandmother that I wanted to actually do this as a job, and we decided to put a clothing line together. And that first clothing line that I did actually won this award back in 1993, 94.
Wow, so you are a veteran of sorts in this industry.
After that, just one thing after another, and
now you have DH, and talk a little bit about DH.
So DH obviously stands for my name, Daniel Hernandez Studios, and pretty much what it is from a business perspective, right now, currently as a showroom at 316 Newberry Street, and I'm currently in the process of developing a extensive menu of products that you can actually mass produce, because I feel that in the past, most of the work that I did was more of a one-of-a-kind, so you couldn't really produce them. So for the past 2 years, what I've been doing is I developed relationships with some of the local labs in the U.S., and I'm proud to say that 100% of my products are out of the United States. Wow. So what I've been doing is I've been developing products that can be mass-produced, and I'm now actually in 2 locations.
Wow, congratulations.
Thank you. And that's where my focus has been, in understanding what it takes to be able to make, a dozen of something, which is a complete different ball game.
Manufacturing at this point,
right.
Yeah, on a much bigger scale for sure. Well, that's really exciting. Because you're established and because you've kind of seen it all in the fashion scene, we've invited 2 young ladies who are on the brink of basically, discovering the fashion industry in Boston, and we're very excited to have them here. And they're kind of here to pick your brain and ask you questions, and let's see,
Great.
what you can teach them and the direction you can lead them into. Adriana and Jacqueline, please welcome our 2 young ladies. Come on up, and thank you so much. Jacqueline, pleasure to meet you.
Hi,
this is
Daniel.
Daniel.
How are you?
And Adriana, thank you so much for being here.
Good to meet you.
Take a seat, ladies. So here he is. Tell us about yourself a little bit first. Adriana, we'll start with you.
Okay, so I'm Adriana Giron. I'm the designer of Dri by Adriana. I make urban couture dresses for females. I've done some bow ties and vests for males too, but I mainly focus on females. And I'm actually graduating May 14th from Regis College. I'm a biology major, and I'm also a designer, so I live like a double lifestyle.
Very, very cool.
Thank you.
Well, I'm Jacqueline Ortega of Ortega Designz. I specialize in unique jewelry and custom designs. I've been designing jewelry between 5 and 7 years, and I just started to transition into actual business.
Well, he's here to kind of talk about that. So I know you have questions. You've prepared questions for him, and definitely don't shy away from any question because he's here at your disposal. So, have at it. Adriana, we'll start with your question.
So, tying into me graduating in a couple weeks, I just wanted to know how you went about when you finished your college education, how you went towards developing where you want to go in, what direction you want to go in with your business and your designs?
I think that's actually a really interesting question, because what I would recommend to somebody in your case is probably a little bit more unconventional, in a sense that, like I was telling you outside when we talked about it, I think that to me it makes no sense to get all of your education from only one place. I think it's crucial that you evaluate yourself and really understand what you're good at and what you're not, because I think that if you're like me, one of the things that I lack that I'm currently working on is being able to let go of the fact that I'm not perfect at everything. Like I always want everything done a certain way. And it's really bad, because then it makes it really difficult to develop teams. So without deviating from the question, I think that it makes a lot of sense to take your time to check out the schools that teach what you're trying to get into and mix and match your classes. For example, in Boston,
Okay. So in Boston, check out other areas. And
I thought she was telling me to shut up.
No, that's fine. Keep going.
So it makes a lot of sense to review the schools. I mean, in your case, you just finished, but I don't know if you're planning to specialize in a particular area. So actually check the schools. Like I remember when I decided to go to school in Boston, I checked Mass College of Art, I checked the School of Fashion Design on Newbury Street, Berkeley, all of them, and
lots of schools in the area. Yeah, so
even like, for example, Mass Art was, to me, it tends to be a little bit more artsy, but they don't really, without being disrespectful, I felt that did not really teach you hands-on production, what it takes to sell. Because in reality, creativity is not necessarily what sells. It might be what opens a door marketing-wise, but it's not what sells. So what
I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. I just want to, we're short on time, but if you want to ask a question, Jacqueline.
Yeah, I just want to piggyback on that. I mean, how important is education to you? Because so far everything I know has been self-taught, and I am currently thinking about going back into school, and I have been looking into different schools, but I know you said to pick different classes from different schools, which I think makes a lot of sense. I looked into the fashion design school, and I mean, I'm doing accessories right now, and they don't offer many courses on accessories. So what is your take on that?
I think education, if you're to put ingredients for a successful formula, it's number one. And I think it's something that you never finish learning. And I think especially in a industry where manufacturing is so elaborate, time-consuming, and poorly paid, technology is going to continue to play a big role in making you successful. So once you learn the basics, you have to continue to educate yourself with technology, marketing, every area there is, because it's the only way. There's no other way.
So Daniel, you did mention networking, and I know that you're young, you're coming out of college. Talk to these ladies about networking and what that does for you as a business, as a personal, fashion designer, as a student. How important is it?
Well, for starters, I think that it's a big misconception that people think that for you to network, you have to network with the top of the crowd in the fashion industry. I can tell you that some of my best clients are my friends from high school. Networking is about staying in touch with people that support you. Those are going to be your first circle of clients, and then build on that. And then utilize technology and social networking and all these different outlets that are out there for you to just grow your group, because whenever you need something, those are the ones that are going to do it for you first, and take it from there.
Thank you.
Did you have another question?
I just wanted to know how, when you first started off, what was your direction in your branding, your brand? If that makes sense.
Building your brand, because you are a brand. DH Studios is a brand.
I think that building your brand and having a focused idea of what your brand represents, it's something that you have to kind of be sure of from the beginning, because everything you do is going to align on that. So I always had an idea of what I wanted to do with my products and what kind of age group person I wanted to help with my products. So I was always very clear, who my customer is, and understanding how to reach to them and get to them what service I provide that helps them live better. So to me, that's what branding is.
Final question.
Yeah, what is the best way to target your audience and how to get fashion shows translate into sales?
So marketing, pretty much.
That's 2 questions.
I know.
So
Make it as brief as possible, and concise as possible.
okay, so the best way that I think for you to reach your client is start with a small group of people that evaluate your product and listen to the feedback. I think that sometimes artists can get caught up in what they think is the right thing. It's like sometimes you can look at yourself in a certain way, but that's not really what people see. Listen to the customer as to what they're saying about your product, how that's meeting their expectations, and build on that. And you'll have followers. I have followers for over 15 years.
Focus groups, pretty much, yeah.
Correct. And that's as little as what you're doing right now. Like really take the notes and take your time to work on what it is you're trying to develop. Don't guess, like do smart decisions based on your current customer and hold on to them.
Perfect. Thank you.
Daniel, thank you so much for coming to
pleasure.
Style It Up and for giving us your insight. It's definitely helpful information. Ladies, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank
Good luck to
you.
both of you. Maybe
you
we'll
very
see you
much.
back here on Style It Up and
Good luck.
keep us
Thank
informed.
you.
Good luck with everything. Thank you so much.
much.
Unfortunately, that's our show for today. I want to thank our guests, Maria of AiRam, Crochet Apparel, our panel, Daniel Hernandez, Adriana Giron, and Jackie Ortega. And of course, we always want to thank you, the viewer. Before I go, I will leave you with this quote by Bruce Oldfield. Fashion is more usually a gentle progression of revisited ideas. Well said. Till next time, I'm Olga Medvedev.